Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about back kicking, and I want to explain how children can learn to kick effectively when they are swimming on their backs. Backstroke kicking may look simple, but it is actually a very important part of backstroke. A good kick does not only help a swimmer move through the water, it also helps them stay balanced, keep the body in the correct position, and feel more confident in the water. If the kick is weak or incorrect, the body may sink, the swimmer may struggle to stay straight, and the whole stroke becomes much harder. When teaching children, the first thing I would explain is that the kick should be small, steady, and continuous. Some children think they need to make big splashes or bend their legs a lot, but that is not the best way. A strong backstroke kick is usually smooth and controlled. The legs move up and down in a relaxed rhythm, and the movement should look easy rather than wild. The kick should begin mainly from the hips, not from the knees. This is a very important teaching point. If children kick too much from the knees, it starts to look like riding a bicycle in the water, and that is not effective. Instead, the whole leg should move in a long, loose action, with only a small bend at the knee. I would tell children to imagine that their legs are long paintbrushes moving through the water, not sharp hinges folding in the middle. Another important point is the position of the feet and toes. The toes should be stretched and relaxed, almost like they are trying to point away from the body. This helps the feet move through the water more smoothly. Sometimes the toes may turn slightly inward, and that is normal. When the leg comes upward, the feet may gently break the surface of the water. We do not want huge splashes, but a little splash at the top is fine and often shows that the swimmer is keeping the kick active near the surface. Children also need to understand that the kick should stay close to the surface. If the legs go too deep, the kick becomes less effective and the body position drops. If the knees come out of the water too much, that can also spoil the shape of the stroke. So the aim is to keep the legs long and the kick narrow, with the water just moving around the feet. One useful way to teach this is to remind children to keep their body flat and stretched out. Their head should stay still, their tummy should stay up, and their hips should not sink. If their hips sink, their kick usually becomes harder and less powerful. A good backstroke kick works best when the whole body is in a long, balanced position. When I teach children, I also like to use simple images. For example, I might say, pretend your legs are flicking water gently, or kick like you are making little bubbles behind you. These pictures help children understand that the movement should be light, quick, and controlled instead of heavy and stiff. There are also some common mistakes to watch out for. One mistake is kicking with very bent knees. Another is making the kick too big. Another is keeping the ankles stiff, which makes the feet less effective in the water. So as teachers, we should encourage children to stay relaxed, keep the movement small, and practice regularly until the action feels natural. In conclusion, effective backstroke kicking comes from the hips, uses a small bend in the knees, keeps the toes pointed, and stays close to the surface of the water. For children, the main goal is to develop balance, rhythm, and confidence. Once they learn how to kick properly, the rest of backstroke becomes much easier. Thank you.